China has announced that the 8 peacekeeping police killed in the Haiti earthquake have been awarded the title of martyr as their bodies were brought home on Tuesday. The government will also be awarding compensation to the families of the 8 who were part of a UN peacekeeping mission in the country. Bodies of the 7 policemen and a policewoman arrived in Beijing on a chartered China Southern Airlines flight. China has also angrily denied accusations by some media organizations that its rescue team were only searching for Chinese nationals following the devastating earthquake. Beijing said its 60-strong medical team in Haiti has already treated more than 200 locals, and China has airlifted rescue supplies and aid to the devastated country. As many as 200,000 people are believed to have died after the 7.3 magnitude earthquake hit the island on January 12th. Beijing said on Tuesday it was doing everything in its power to rescue 2 Chinese engineers kidnapped in Afghanistan. The authorities said they were seeking to verify reports that the engineers were seized by the Taliban. A local Afghan official said on Sunday that the 2 engineers had been helping to build a road in northern Faryab province when they were kidnapped, along with their 2 local drivers and 2 guards. The Taliban have claimed responsibility for the abduction, saying an Islamic court would decide their fate. Criminal gangs and Taliban insurgents have kidnapped several dozen foreigners, many of them journalists, in Afghanistan since 2001 U.S.-led operation to topple the Taliban. A former Chinese Supreme Court judge has been sentenced to life in prison following his conviction for embezzlement and receiving more than $500,000 in bribes. Huang Songyou, the court's former vice president, is the first judicial official of his stature to be tried and convicted on such charges. His case is part of a continuing battle by the government against deep-seated corruption. Huang was accused of taking more than $500,000 in bribes from a law firm in return for favorable rulings on cases between 2005 and 2008. He was also charged with embezzling nearly $200,000 in government funds while serving as president of a city-level court in the southern province of Guangdong in 1997. Google has delayed the debut of 2 mobile phones designed to connect with its internet services in China. The announcement follows a rift between the company and Beijing over online censorship and security. The phones use the Android operating system created by Google to steer people to its search engine and other services. China Unicom was supposed to be the carrier. The postponement is the latest aftershock from Google's threat to shut down its services in China. Google says it will remain in China only if the government relents on rules requiring the censorship of content. The ultimatum came last week after the company said it uncovered a computer attack that tried to steal its software coding and get into the email accounts of human rights activists. Beijing says foreign enterprises need to adhere to China's laws and regulations. Closed roads and delayed flights have left thousands of travelers stranded following blizzards and extreme cold that killed 4 people and affected 1.6 million others in northwestern China. Snowstorms delayed 122 flights in Urumqi, capital of Xinjiang region, leaving more than 4,000 passengers stranded. Avalanches blocked roads, stranding more than 1,000 passengers in the region. Rescue workers were evacuating thousands of rural residents to safer ground at lower altitudes because of the latest storm front. Storms in China's far western Xinjiang flattened or damaged about 100,000 homes, and more than 15,000 head of livestock were killed by the cold front that began on Sunday night. H1N1 flu, which has killed more than 700 people on the Chinese mainland, will continue to spread in the country in 2010. That's according to China's Ministry of Health. Officials said people in mainland China still had limited access to immunization protection against the flu and that regional outbreaks of the disease could not be ruled out. More than 63 million Chinese people have so far been inoculated with the H1N1 flu vaccine. The disease had killed at least 710 people by January 10th. The Ministry of Health says risk of mass infection might increase during Chinese New Year in February when huge numbers of people travel home for the holiday. China's property sales jumped more than 75% to nearly $650 billion last year, led by the eastern cities of Zhejiang and Shanghai as record new loans boosted buying. The sales data follows last week's announcement that December property prices rose 7.8%, the fastest pace in 18 months, adding urgency to government efforts to rein in speculation. China this month reimposed a sales tax on homes sold within 5 years of their purchase. The government has also urged strict application of a 40% down payment requirement for second homes. Two-time NBA All-Star Stephon Marbury has joined the Shanxi Zhongyu Brave Dragons of the Chinese Basketball Association. Marbury will arrive in Shanxi province in northern China next week, according to the club's website. The team is based in Taiyuan, the province capital, about 250 miles southwest of Beijing. Marbury's contract is reportedly small, but he's hoping to use his stay in China to promote his shoe brand, Starbury. The player's NBA career nosedived in recent years. His tenure with the Knicks was scarred by rifts with coaches Larry Brown and Isaiah Thomas. And that's the BON headlines for now, but we'll be back with more news after this.